Hello fam, welcome. My name is Macklin Janet. If you're new, welcome to the fam. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because we're always here having a good time. And come visit me on TikTok and Instagram, I'm there daily. And of course, welcome back to my oldies with goodies. Oh my god, I'm thinking right now, do I have something on my teeth? Right there. Hi, so I had an idea. I have an idea and I'm executing it. So because the Sephora sale is coming, the holidays are coming, I wanted to swatch every single high-end foundation I own, mainly from Sephora and maybe like 4 or 5 from Ulta, so you guys can see the shade, the undertones while I talk about it a little bit so we all get a refresher. I have reviews on most all of those foundations if you want to see them. Type in my name and the brand name like Macklin Janet Chanel, Macklin Janet Prada Beauty, and then you'll find the review. And I also want to know which one you think will work for you and what shade do you like the most. I've never done this before. I've never swatched every single high-end foundation and skin tint here. Without further ado, let's get started because this is going to be a long one, so I want you to get comfortable, but take notes too, and then I'll see you at the end. I am ready. Let's do it. I have all of these foundations, this, and this. We're gonna do liquid foundation, stick foundations, and skin tint. Brown skin with neutral undertone. This can help you find your shade. Let's start. ISL All Hours foundation is literally one of my favorites. I'm in the shade MN9. Let's do a little squeezy. Just swatching like this. This one's a little warm, but it does oxidize. Leaves your skin so flawless, so smooth. So I want to show you it oxidized a little bit. I can probably go a shade up, but they don't have the perfect shade up, so I went with this MN9. The one we all love, Tint It All from Lancome. I'm in the shade 355N. They had reformulated this not too long ago. It looks super light, but this one really does oxidize. And this is just one of those oldies but goodies formulas that is pigmented, it blurs, it lasts all day. Most foundations will always oxidize. There isn't a foundation I've come across where it did not oxidize at all. It just depends how much they oxidize. Some oxidize more than others. But you see how this one just melts into the skin? I'm like tempted to put this hair up, girl. Next up is Guerlain Terracotta Le Tint. This one is a good one. The liquid powder finish. How do you say it? Liquid powder, yeah. I'm in the shade 3.5N. This one for sure oxidizes. It does oxidize perfectly if I remember correctly. It's a little thicker, but because it has that powder dry down, it'll always be a little bit thicker. And I'm doing this cheek because this is the one I have that hyperpigmentation right here. I want to show you how it covers it. This one, it has a good amount of fragrance. Isn't this like coverage great? And I always try to match my foundation with my neck. So my face is always going to be lighter because I wear SPF every day. I'm always trying to match down here, especially if you take photos. If your foundation's too light, you're gonna have major flashback because it's not gonna match this area right here. Oh wow, this one's drying down already. Ooh, this shade, so perfect. Dior. I'm in the shade 3N. Dior really oxidizes like no other. This is their matte formula. And this one really adheres to the skin quick. It's that matte formula that like you have to move quick and work in sections. But this shade, ooh, and it's sticky, look. Okay. Okay. Ooh, this is a go-to. Moving on to one size, medium R2. If I recall, this one wasn't my shade. This moussey feel and finish. Turn up the base BB cream. But the coverage on this one is great. I just recall not ever being able to find my shade with this. And I feel like if you have dry skin, this probably is a little too drying. Oxidizes, but not enough to match me. You see how it matches my face, but it's super light up against my neck. So the formula is nice, definitely not for everyone. So now we're on to Ilia SF6 Chills. Let's see. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember this one. So let's see. It looks like this. Shade looks pretty good, a little warm. Let's see. The texture is nice. It's lightweight. Yeah, it pigmented, yeah. You see, this shade's a little warm. So if you have a brown skin and you noticed that a lot of foundations look like this, where you can look like a Oompa Loompa really quick. I always suggest for you to have in your makeup stash this blue pigment. Either one of these, you add it onto your foundation. Like, let's say you can just do like this number, if this is yours, not if you're like using it for clients and stuff. I would put it on a palette. You're gonna mix it, and the blue is gonna cool this down. This is a very hydrating formula. Feels like a serum and a skin tint in one. Okay, not bad. It's a little lightweight, but that's Ilia. That's like how Ilia is, very skin-like. A little warm, a little lightweight, you know, a little your skin but better type. Glossier, I really like this foundation. If I what I remember about it, it is pigmented, it's radiant, it lasts well, it was a good shade. This is the shade medium. I'll have all the shades for you on screen and in the description box per the usual. So if I forget a shade, because girl, I don't even know, I'm gonna count all this at the end. I don't know how many foundations I have, but I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna have to break this up in 2 days, but it's okay. This video is about to get done. Oh yeah, it's a better version of the Ilia one. It's a little thicker, but you see how it gives that radiant look? Okay, this hair, it has to go up. It has to go up. Nars is one of those foundations, those brands that makes foundation so well. It's always a favorite. This is the shade Aruba Medium 6. My shade is Valencia, if I'm not mistaken. This is Aruba. It's a little, you see it's a little deep. I do remember when this formula came out, it was very different from their original. Do I have it? No, I don't have the one in the bottle that looks like this. This is Anastasia's. I'm also Valencia in this one, but we'll get there. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so this one, I would definitely use some of this to neutralize it a little bit. It would still be dark, but honestly, a darker neutral shade will work. Could just lighten it up with either concealer or a setting powder. Actually, no, it doesn't even look bad. It matches my neck. JK. Maybe Aruba is the one. She's thick. She has like a thicker texture. This is their soft matte foundation. So far, do you guys have a favorite? Let me know. A tip I have when it comes to foundations, if you go in stores to try it out, like your shade and stuff, I would put a little dollop on my hand, walk around, see how it dries. Because like this one dried down matte and it oxidized. Let's say it oxidized like 1.5 shades. You want to see how much a foundation oxidized so you can know what shade it is. Personally, for me, if I do have a shade that's too dark, I'd much rather a darker foundation than a lighter foundation and be looking like Beetlejuice. That's just personal preference. I always suggest for you to do that because things oxidize like crazy. I was thinking about this foundation the other day. I was like, I have not used it and I remember I liked it a lot. No lie, I was also looking on the website. I think they released more shades. When I bought this, I believe this shade was a little too warm, although it's a neutral undertone. This is the shade 11. Yeah, you see how yellow that is? I would actually probably, go with a cool undertone. Some brands do tend to run a little bit warm on brown skin especially. We're gonna look like a Oompa Loompa in 3 seconds. Warmth is not really our friend, especially if you have a neutral, cool undertone. You can even be like a light brown skin, medium brown skin. I'm like a medium to tan brown skin. Also, it depends how your skin warms up the product. Sometimes I find that some foundations pull more warm than others. It really depends. It's one of those trial and error type things, you know? I'm kind of liking this way of doing this because we're talking about foundations and shades. Any sort of advice I have, it's like coming up. The juices are flowing, you know? Hourglass formula is definitely hydrating and pigmented. We'll use this shade, but my shade in the Too Faced Born This Way, which is a good foundation, it is warm beige. It is a neutral undertone. This foundation, I believe, runs a little bit warm. Was an oldie. This is an oldie but goodie foundation in the sense that I was wearing this back in 2018 when I first started my YouTube channel, and I was loving it because it was one of the first very pigmented hydrating foundation. Remember back then? It feels like an eternity ago, but back then, you know, matte was still the thing. The fact that this type of foundation lasted, wore well, yet it was hydrating, it was kind of like, damn, this is everybody's new love. This shade is not bad, actually. This is the shade Golden. It works. Not as warm as I thought it was. Anastasia, I just tried this out maybe like a year ago. Everybody loved it. I had a hard time, what am I saying? I had a hard time finding my shade. This isn't my shade, 335W. Like, I'm not a W at all, but we're gonna use it. I remember the formula was great. I love it. It's lightweight, very similar like the Too Faced, lightweight, pigmented, a little hydrating. I don't know, I couldn't get with the shades. I will put on the screen the correct shade. I remember finding it. Wow, this is very hydrating. It feels literally like moisturizer on the skin. I would say like a skin tint, but foundation version, if that makes sense. It's oxidizing a little bit. Definitely would need our blue. Formula is amazing. I really like it. Mario, I love this foundation. Very hydrating. Maybe too hydrating, some may say, but I like it. I'm in the shade 15N. This one is truly neutral undertone. Very hydrating. This is literally like moisturizer. This is like a thick moisturizer. Doesn't really dry down, so you'll always have that radiant look. So if you don't like that type of foundation that doesn't really have a dry down, this is not for you. And this one actually oxidizes very little, not too much. This shade is perfect. It has a hint of olive undertone in it. I find with brown skin like us, olive undertones work, neutral undertones work, a little bit cooler undertones. I find that a lot of us are those tones. And you can be from any culture. You don't have to be Latina. You could be Middle Eastern. You can be Asian. You can be American. Brown skin is brown skin. It transcends a whole lot of people. You could be Indian. You could be Southeast Asian. So I just use this foundation. This is an oldie but goodie. It's still a lot of people's favorite. Perfect match, wears literally perfectly. I'm in the shade 4N1 beige, shell beige. 4N1 shell beige. I was like paint, but other than that, a lot of foundations also activate with skin warmth. That's why I'm also applying it with my finger, because I find that it just glides so well. Nars again. Now this is the shade Valencia M5. This one runs, if I remember correctly, warm, but it oxidizes. So you see how in the other one I was Aruba? So this is Valencia. Valencia's one shade lighter than Aruba. This one's more hydrating than the first one. The other one was a soft matte, which it truly dried down matte. This just looks so good on the skin. It's pigmented, hydrating, but it does adhere and dry down onto the skin. Yeah, a little warm. Lancome Tint It All Hair Glow. This is like a serum foundation. I'm also in the shade 355 Neutral. This one I feel like is a little cooler than the first one, although it's the same shade number. And cool, this one for sure fits me a lot better. You see, it just melts into my skin. I am a neutral undertone, but I kind of lean. I have a little toe into the cool arena. My mom is very cool, so cool would be like red. Oh, damn, this melts in. Damn, I forgot how good this is. The one that I think is taking the cake for 2024 is this one right here, Prada. I'm in the shade MN60. This foundation right here, I'm gonna just use a little bit because she's expensive. Shade great, undertone great, texture not too thick, not too thin. It dries down on your skin so it adheres, but it's not matte. It's not really radiant. It's like that perfect in between, and it blurs your skin. Mind you, I'm just applying all of these on bare skin, no primer. At this point, no more skincare because I'm just wiping it off. And it builds so nicely because the texture is thin. It's very, very buildable. And that's always a good thing. As much as this costs, it should have all this and more, you know? By the way, you guys, I have the Rare Beauty eyebrow gel on with just a little bit of my NYX pen. Look how natural the brows look. Ooh, I'll tag them too. Like, that Rare Beauty gel is so good. If you're wondering, does my face hurt a little bit? Okay, these are all available at Ulta. Everything else is for sure Sephora. So we're gonna go in with MAC, Studio Fix, Radiant, Studio Fix OG, the oldie but goodie. Technically, I don't know how oldie but goodie this one is because I believe they reformulated it a little bit and added the pumped. So I'm in the shade NW30. Perfect shade. I can also use NW25, and this one does oxidize too. I don't know why it looks so light, because this is NW30 for the radiant, and look how different they look. So this is the oldie but goodie MAC. We know MAC is that girl. MAC's not going anywhere. It's the tried and true, loved brand, trusted brand. Okay, now this is the Studio Radiant NW30. It looks a little different. This is more of a radiant finish, very pigmented. They feel similar as you apply it, but as it dries down, this one has more of a radiant dry down. It dries down, but not as matte as the original. The original doesn't dry down matte. I would call it like a very soft matte. Very. Maybe a radiant matte, I would say. You guys, the Dodgers are going to the World Series. I don't follow baseball, but I follow that much. So, hey, go LA, go LA. Okay, I'm watching it right now. It happened yesterday. Ooh, my face. Okay, Smashbox. This one, well, first of all, it's not my shade. I don't know why I got L30N. I'm in the medium sector of this. This foundation is so good. Look. It does oxidize, but I did use it recently and I was like, ooh, okay, Beetlejuice. So this is yellow, warm. We need a lot of this going on, but I won't use it just because it's a swatch. And I want you to see how the actual shade is. If you have foundation that you want to use up, you don't want to waste, buy this, $4. I'll tag it for you and you could just add little dots, blend it in, and then your foundation will neutralize easily. Just don't use too much, because if you use too much blue, it can also turn your foundation gray. So beware, beware. Look at this. This is so blurring. Anytime I wear this foundation, I always get complimented on my skin. Anytime, I swear. This little egg right here from Polite Society. This foundation is another very hydrating, blurring foundation. It went viral for good reason, because it's just, look at this, so good. Pigmented yet lightweight. I really love warming up foundation, and then when you spread it, it spreads so nicely. I'm telling you, skin warmth on skin warmth is going to be the best thing. Your foundation, when it's warmed up, have you noticed it just looks good? It just looks like it's part of you, part of your soul. Well, not your soul, but your skin, you know? Especially when it's that perfect match, girl. And this is it. Look, it's like my skin, blurred. Ooh. All right, moving on to Bosma. I don't know if I have my shade. This is 20, this is 23, but we're gonna use the shade 20. Bosma Beauty. Oh yeah, this is good. It is a woman-owned brand. Stick foundation is so creamy, leaves your skin looking so nice. Look how pretty this is. It's a little warm. I haven't used it in a while. Love it. Look, it's creamy. Shade is pretty good considering I remember like not having my shade because I don't remember why I did not have my shade, but it's so lightweight, so easy to use. It covers all the redness I have, hyperpigmentation. It's very nice. I just love a stick foundation that glides well. While we're in the stick category, let's use all the stick foundations I have. Moving right along to Fenty. I'm in the shade number 10. But I believe I'm in the shade 11. This is very creamy. Shade I remember wasn't my correct exact shade. In the skin tint, I'm at shade 11. So I'm shade 11 in this one. Wow, this is creamy, super fast, super blurring. Yep, how I remember it. So nice. This shade I could pass. I'll link shade 11, but this is shade 10. Very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel creamy, but it applies very creamy. Foundation stick that I literally just reviewed yesterday is the new LYS. I'm in the shade TN6. It looks super dark. When I blend it out, a perfect tone, and it's a perfect undertone. Also very pigmented. LYS is known for being super pigmented, and LYS is one of the most affordable brands at Sephora, so I really appreciate that because you get such good quality products for a good price. This retails for $25. I had to redo my hair because this looks better. One of my favorite stick foundations is Ilia. This one released this year. I'm in the shade 18 and Hawthorne. It's super creamy, super pigmented. Look at that. Like manchas gone. What I like about this too is that with cream stick foundations, all you have to do is just tap, blend out the edges, and it's basically blended out. A liquid foundation, you tend to take more time to blend it because it's wet. With the stick, little dots here and there, look, you just have coverage. You can just spot conceal, spot foundation the areas you want, and look, you see the difference? This looks nice and smooth and even, and this looks spotty. So this one's so good, and it's just so freaking pigmented. I love it. Not only do they have so many shades, you guys saw how pigmented it is, how it dries down a little bit matte, which means it stays. It's also a concealer, so you can use it as it's a dual concealer foundation. Love this thing. Let's do another cream. This just comes in this sort of packaging, the Patrick Tall. I'm in the shade medium 2. It comes with the powder, and I find that the powder is what makes this cream foundation special. I find that the powder is like the perfect part 2 of this type of foundation because this is very creamy. It's like a balmy feel. So if you have oily skin, you need something that's going to, you know, set it down well. Anything balmy doesn't set well because it's always wet and it has like a bit of that Vaseline sort of feel. You know, it's not wet, but it's not dry. And this powder just adheres so well. It just seals it in beautifully. Yeah, the skin is skinning with this. The shade is good. It applied very warm, but as it's warming up, it looks good on the skin. So yeah, medium 2 is a good shade. Bare Minerals Pro 24-Hour Matte Liquid Foundation. Released this year, I think. I'm in the shade 35 Neutral. Bare Minerals, I feel like runs a little warm. I'm trying to think. It's definitely warm. Feels very lightweight. Yeah, this shade's really good, actually. Just kidding. JK, JK. Feels like a very hydrating, soft matte. Let's see how it dries. Yeah, look how smoothing that is. Wow, this foundation is beautiful. Look. Wow. Why haven't I been using this? So good. We have Say here. I'm in the shade 18. Let's see. Let's see. Very liquidy. Oh, maybe not. Very warm, very lightweight. This, I believe, released last year, early last year. Oh, very skin-like, very skin tint. I would call this a skin tint. This is the foundation. Glowy Super Skin Foundation. Yeah, that's exactly what it's giving. It's nice. Wow, it is very nice. See the shade? It's very deceiving because on my face, look, it melts in nicely. This one's very nice. I really like how it feels and it looks on the skin. Very lightweight. It feels like water. It's so light on the skin. I'm officially running out of makeup wipes. So once I do that, I'm probably going to have to resume tomorrow. This one. This is a classic foundation. If you don't know ever what foundation to get, but you want something good that's long lasting and that will transcend the time. Wait, this is not the shade. I have 2 of these bad boys. I have shade 8 and 7. Let me swatch both of them for you. This is the foundation for you. This is shade 7. A little light is a little light. Shade 8 is my perfect shade. Let me use another finger. I can go either or. This one is more my tone. This one I feel like has a bit of a maybe olive undertone, so olive action, but let's swatch 8. It's been good for a really long time. There's a reason why people still buy it. It's like the MAC Studio Fix. It's one of those just cult classic that will go on forever and ever because this one, it's a luminous finish. It's in the name, luminous silk. It makes your skin look so good. It lasts all day. Just because it's luminous, it doesn't mean like it's not gonna last. Through time, it makes your skin look better. This is the beauty of this one where it just makes your skin look like skin throughout the day. Oh, so good. Truly one of my faves. One of my faves. Tarte has the Maracuja Juicy Glow. Let's see, this one's definitely very glowy. I'm in the shade 35 and medium thick. She feels like a, I don't know, just thick. Reminds me of the Mario one, but this one's a lot thicker and it's a lot glowier. But I don't know, for some reason it reminds me of it. But I literally just describe it as very different. This is glow. Like you see, straight up glow. This actually, no, this is what it really reminds me of. Bad boy right here. Yeah, but we'll get to that soon. I don't know if this is feasible for anyone to just use. This is a very specific type of user that would like something like this because it doesn't dry down, and a lot of things that don't dry down, I'm not saying dry down completely like matte, but we need a little dry down so other products can adhere well. If things don't dry down, you're more likely to get patches everywhere. That's kind of like the problem with this one. It's cute. I think it's great for like a little touch. Yeah, it doesn't really dry down. I feel like this is more on the skin tint arena. I'm saving the skin tint till the end. It says foundation, so we're gonna treat it like a foundation. Talking about cult classic Dior body, what is this called? Body and something? They did change the formula recently. Is this the one? This is the, oh yeah, look, these are the bottles. I don't know which one's original. Damn. I believe this one was the original. Which one's more busted? That's how I'm gonna, oh, this is the original. Okay, so this is the new one. I remember the writing was different. I didn't know what the difference was. The D was bigger. Okay, so this is the new one. I'm gonna swatch the new one just because old formula is no longer available. The old formula was a little more on the, I would say, matte side. The new formula is more hydrating. There is that difference and people are not happy with it. But this is what we got with going on. This is just so beautiful. Skin and body, is that what it's called? Skin and body, right? Face and body. This is like a skin tint foundation that lasts all day. The matte version, the beauty of it, it was a slight matte, like a tint of matte where it adhered to your skin. Loved it. Oh, let me show you this is the shade 3N. Dior does oxidize a lot. 3N is good. I can do 3.5N, but very lightweight, very your skin. Perfect for event makeup. If you don't like a lot of makeup. Also, if you do like a lot of makeup, it does build well. Haus Labs. The thing about Haus Labs, this foundation is stunning, but I don't have a shade. Literally, this shade is the perfect neutral undertone, but it's too deep. This one is a little too pinky, so I have to mix them. The shade I would use, this one, 330 medium cool. Although it's too deep, it ends up blending out well. I keep talking while I'm doing this. This is the shade 310 medium warm. So you see the differences? Like this is the one medium, 330 medium cool, 310 medium warm. You see, this is not even warm. This is more like cool and really neutral. Let's see. It's light. It's so stunning. What I do is I'll mix both of these shades and then I have my shade. But you see how this one's gonna be a little too deep? Like I told you, I much rather deeper than not. But when you blend it, it kind of just blends in well. This really was the foundation of 2022. It's still so good. The only reason I don't use it as much is because if I'm filming, I don't like to use two foundations because I like to always showcase a foundation that's my actual shade. So yeah, this shade is good. It works. It does look a little deep. I feel like in the bottle, it looks deeper than when you apply. And sometimes, like I've showed you throughout this video, when you put it on your hand, it looks different, but when you work it in, the shade also looks different because it also depends your skin, how your skin warms up to product, how different your skin is, because my neck and shoulders are typically a lot, a shade and a half deeper than my actual face. Moving on with KBD Good Apple Foundation, 10057. This foundation went viral. Ooh, it's warm. I haven't used it in so long. It was like one of those, it's a creamy, pigmented, your skin but better type. I really think it's a good foundation. It's still a good foundation, and it released 4 years ago maybe. I remember it was during the pandemic. Or maybe like, 2020 or 2021. But look, it's still withstands the test of time. The only thing about this, a little bit goes a long way. If you put too much, you can look cakey quick because the texture, you can see it's like pretty thick. Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Foundation. Danessa Myricks is always all about skin, and it's made right. I'm in the shade 9N. Is that 9? Yeah. See? Ooh, a little light, but I think it does oxidize. Wow, look at this. Skin, a little bit goes a long way. Like this will last you forever. Wow, look. Woo! The skin definitely looks yummy. Givenchy has two, a matte and a radiant. I'm in the shade, the same shade. No, I'm not. So the Glow 5N312. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, look, it's squirting. Wow, oh my god. A foundation has never attacked me before. Skin caring glow. Let's see this bad boy. The texture is a little thicker, but it does glide very well. I remember liking this. It released, I don't know when, a year? No, maybe like 2 years ago. It's been a little bit. It's very lightweight. It looks good. It looks like skin. It is very, very lightweight. Oh yeah, it dries down too. Okay. Give it some time and then you could build on. Let's see. It goes on very glidey, but give it 30 seconds, it'll dry down. Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, you guys, I'm gonna have to start with this cheek because this cheek is done with. She's like, girl, if you don't knock it off, yeah, it hurts a lot. Moving on to the matte formula. I need to make sure this thing doesn't explode. Ugh, it dries. I'm in the shade 5N335. If I remember correctly, I think that other shade was my better shade. Let's see. Yeah, this one's a little too warm. So the Glow is my better shade. This one is not as glidey as the Glow one. You just get that pigment immediately. It adheres rather quickly. It is a matte formula, so that makes sense that that would happen. Oh, this shade's good too. A little warmer, but just a little bit. I like both. I didn't realize how good both were because I haven't used them in a while. Yeah, both are really good. All right, moving on to Too Faced Born This Way Soft Matte Foundation. This one released this year, and I'm in the shade Warm Beige. So this is my correct shade. It's looking kind of warm. I mean, kind of light and warm. A little bit, huh? This coverage is really nice. Natural yet pigmented. It glides well, but it dries also quickly. Also on bare skin, so that will change up. If I had a hydrating foundation on, it would feel a little different. Moving on to Charlotte Tilbury. Haven't used this one in a long time. This released years ago too. I'm in the shade 7 Neutral. Charlotte Tilbury definitely runs so warm. Ooh, this thing's expired. It's like not even applying well. When your liquids are a whole nother color, she got to go. Moving on to Urban Decay, the Hydromanic Hydrating Foundation. Has some texture to it. This one did go a little viral. Oh, I'm in the shade, what shade? 51 Medium. This is the shade. So it looks pretty good, pretty on point. Typically when you apply foundations and they look super warm, give it 30 seconds to see if they neutralize on your skin. That can happen. It happens a lot more than I thought that would happen. When you apply it and you're like, wait, what? It's because it needs that time to warm up onto your skin. You'll also see it too when you put it on your hand and you wait for it to oxidize. That's part of like the oxidation process. Very hydrating. I think this is a better version of that Charlotte Tilbury one. Not only do they have better shades and undertones, its texture is very similar. It's thick in a very hydrating way, I would say. Hair is back down because I need it to dry. Let's move on to Laura Mercier. This one went viral, super viral, like I would say 8-9 months ago, or maybe a year ago. I'm in the shade NCO Chestnut. And honestly, I didn't find this foundation to be particularly fantastic. But let's see, maybe today, yeah, like it's okay. I don't think it's doing anything I haven't seen today. It's glidey. It's very lightweight. But hold on. Let's let it dry down because it's gliding a lot. Kind of like the Givenchy Glow one. Let's give it some time. I tried using it again. I'm like, maybe it was me. Because when I reviewed it, it doesn't adhere to the skin. It just moves all over the place. Which is fine. A foundation doesn't always have to dry down. But this literally has zero dry down. You can't really build it. And it feels like very emollient. Very movable. It's not my vibe, but did you use this? Have you used this? What do you think about it? Let me know your thoughts. Let's see, even after that it's been on the skin, yeah, it dries down. You have to give it 2 minutes, but yeah, it's still okay. For sure, the Laura Mercier foundation shade is spot on. Moving on to Fenty. Fenty shade number 11. Yep. perfect shade. This right here, still a go-to of mine. It's blurring, it's lightweight, it's pigmented. It just makes your skin look like skin with a little Ideally what a foundation is purpose is to do is to even your skin. I have discoloration, it's very uneven. Here it just looks more even, and the appearance of evenness makes your skin look smooth. It may not be as smooth, but if it's even, it'll appear smooth, you know? Skin tint foundation that will last the test of time. Okay, Makeup Forever released this, I don't know when, a year ago? 2 years ago? I'm in the shade 2N26. This is their Hydrating Glow foundation. Makeup Forever, we know, does great products, great foundations. This one in particular is very nice. It's very glowy, very movable. Your skin, but better. I like these types of foundation more than like a skin tint because it offers a little more than a skin tint, but it feels like a skin tint. You know what I mean? I have so much discoloration and I have oily skin. I like things that are pigmented because I feel like pigment really helps my oils at bay. It doesn't stop them. When you apply your foundation, it's the starting point of layering. A good pigmented foundation is kind of like a strong hold for those oils. Best Skin Ever from Sephora. This one's really old. I like this. So let's see how it looks because I haven't used it in a while. Okay, not bad. Shade is perfect also. This is another brand that has so many shades. The texture here is thicker and the word, it's like best skin ever. I didn't expect this foundation to have so much pigment, but it does, and it worked out so well. Sephora collection makeup is honestly really good. If you want solid, affordable makeup that is available at Sephora collection, from their brushes to their blushes to their eyeliner, concealers, foundation, all honestly works well, especially because of the price point. It's very affordable. It's honestly like drugstore prices are these days, you know? So I want to know right now where we're at on the video. Which one is your favorite foundation and which shade has worked out the best? Let me know. We're kind of halfway there. Kind of. It Cosmetics CC Natural Matte. It Cosmetics is that girl. They've been that. Their foundation, their makeup is very skincare focused and it works for, I would say, most skin types. I've never heard anyone complain about It Cosmetics CC cream. Although they've had a few, I love this one. I know the original is like a cult favorite, the silver one. This one is thick, provides coverage, but it's hydrating also. It comes in several different shades, and you know you get that skincare look and feel with this foundation. That's the thing you'll always get with it. Like this shade's a little too light, neutral medium. I think I'm neutral medium tan. Oh wait, I have the silver one. This is the OG. Let's swatch that one. I think this is more my shade. This one looks a little too light. Actually, now that we're here, yep, this is the shade. You know, I just want to swatch it here. Yeah, this is a better shade. I'll swatch it too though. Looking at this shade, I'm like, it looks a little bit gray. That's what happens too if a shade is a little too light and the undertone's not quite. You can look gray too. It'll look light and gray at the same time. That's what I'm looking here. It's not bad. It's oxidized a little bit. At the beginning, I was like, whoa, gray. This definitely has some staying power. This is perfect for oily skin. Yeah, because it truly is that natural matte. Okay, let's try the original CC cream. I've technically never tried this before. This is going to be my first time sort of trying it, but I want to show you the shade. This one, oh, it glides more than the other one. The other one's a natural matte. Oh, my correct shade with It Cosmetics is neutral tan. Is it neutral? Where's the box? Neutral tan is my shade. Oh yeah. I know a lot of you guys like this It Cosmetic foundation, like this one or the other one. So, ooh, look. This one I feel like glides a little bit more. I'm noticing that the It Cosmetics, they do dry down. It adheres to the skin. You just have to give it a few minutes. It dries. Oh yeah, these are so good. I forget. Fenty, the one that started it all with brands offering multiple shades, multiple undertones, is Fenty. Their original foundation. I'm in the shade, oh no, this is the luminous one. I'll have the original one. But Fenty's that girl. Back in 2017, changed the game. This is the shade 280. It looks, this is their newest one actually. Their luminous that released this year, I believe. Their original one is their matte. I had it, but I don't have it with me. I did a declutter earlier this year, so I think it went there. Look at this coverage. Look at this coverage. This is just a Lumi foundation, but it provides the same coverage from the original matte foundation. Very pigmented. It dries down. You see this glow right here? Very nice. Very nice. KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. They followed up the pot with this one right here. I'm in the shade Tan 60. In the other one, I was Tan 57. If I remember correctly, when this serum one came out, the foundation shade numbers were a little different. Okay, why is this not? Is this gonna squirt on me again? Okay, this is not coming out. It's like too old. This is what we do. This is the shade Tan 60. You see how warm it is? That's the problem. Like a lot of foundations are so warm. A lot of brown skin people are not warm. We're not looking like this. You know, a lot of times, like I've mentioned already, is neutral, cool, olive undertones. This may, if I remember correctly, it does oxidize to a neutral, but let's see. This coverage is very nice though. It's like full coverage. This covers so well. It dries down quick. So it's not gonna move. So long lasting, yes. This is literally not gonna move. Your girl's back for day 2. I had to give my face a break and I went to a premiere yesterday. I vlogged it all and I had to start getting ready. So this content, ooh girl, I'm a mess here. Let's continue with, oh my god, brain fart, Gucci. I love this foundation. Literally one of the best. Look, I keep doing this. I'm like, I need to stop talking and doing this. One of the best foundations. The only thing is that they literally forgot about everyone in the medium to tan skin tone. So the only reason I'm even talking about this, because I wouldn't talk about it any other time, is this formula is beautiful. It's up there with Prada, but it doesn't touch Prada because of the shade ranges. It is smoothing. You see how lightweight it is, but it blurs so beautifully. I had to mix 2 shades when I reviewed it. It adheres to the skin. Stunning. If you're light skin or of deeper complexions, because they do have a good range for deep complexion, this is like worth the Sephora sale type, because whoo, stunning. It's buildable, all the jazz. It has a strong fragrance. The Gucci's, the Dior's do have a fragrance, the Prada's. You know how they say makeup wipes are really bad for your skin? They are. The way it kind of scratches your skin, it's not good. I typically don't use these to remove my makeup, but obviously today because it's a little quickie. But don't use these. If you have them, they're so harsh on your skin. Okay, moving on. Urban Decay. I believe I'm shade 18. This is one of the foundations that's up there for best of 2024. It's hydrating. It wears well. There's a ton of shade. This is shade 18. A ton of olive undertones. This is shade 19. It's a little warm. We're gonna swatch 18. So this is called literally face bonds because it bonds to your face. It has a matte finish. I would say this is one of the more matte formulas of recent time, as in this year. Has this hydrating feel and look that it works. It doesn't dry down to your face, but it does face bond to your face. Like this is transfer proof. Literally, I did it and no transfer. Finish is great, blurs the skin. If you want your makeup to last, this is gonna bond to your face. It is already bonding to my face. The beauty of this one is that it lasts so long and it's buildable. So you can really apply a thin layer. It looks beautiful because it's pigmented, or you could build it up and make it real full coverage. Talking about full coverage is one size. I'm in the shade medium 65R. One size runs very, very warm. So the shades that fit us undertone gals is the rosy, aka R shade. Although as you can see, it is still very warm, but when it oxidizes and it dries down, it does dry down to that neutral undertone. It just takes a bit of a minute. This foundation is great. It is full coverage, soft matte, lasts all day. We know though one size really caters to us oily gals, and full coverage, full beat that lasts all day long. So with one size, you know what you're gonna get with the brand. Back to the makeup wipes talk. Yesterday, after like I swatched, I had to really take care of my skin. So I did a mask and everything. So I think I'm gonna film that for short form. How to like kind of soothe your skin after it's gone through a beating. Not necessarily like 1,000 foundation swatches, but if your skin isn't acting right, I feel like this will work. Hold me accountable. Make sure I upload that because I'm gonna film it, but the uploading part is a whole different story. You guys, we're getting to know each other in a very close-knit way today because we've been here 2 days. Talking about getting to know me, I love it. I don't know, I couldn't transition it, but girl, stick foundation of the year, Dior. This right here, look, that little bit covered my manchas, the discoloration. This is so pigmented, it's beautiful, it's creamy, it lasts all day. Just know, like I think I mentioned, stick foundations will always be creamy. They have an emollient feel, so you will get oilier faster. Depending how your skin is, depending on the weather, depending how you prep, it depends on a lot of things, but whoa, this is so good. I love it, I love it. Oh, 3.5, and when I tell you I love this, I'm trying to get organized because I'm gonna count all of these at the end of the video and see how many, because I honestly do not know how many I've swatched. All I know it's the entire collection, the entire collection. You guys, Armani has another foundation, but this is the fabric long wear high coverage foundation. It came out about 1.5 years ago, I think. Maybe 2 years, but this one, it's just Armani foundation that is just really good. I don't think it beats the Luminous Silk because Luminous Silk is that girl. This one's up there. I'm in the shade 8. 8 truly has like the best undertone. This one dries down a little bit. This texture is a little thicker. I would call it more of a full coverage, and it dries down with the powder feel. Oh, so good. You see? It just blurs the skin so well. Watching on bare skin like that really gives you a good look on how each foundation just applies on bare skin with no primer. I do have moisturizer on, but that's it. Chanel, I got this year. Oh my God, look how messy it is. It is quite expansive, but whew, look at the shade. First of all, this was my first try finding the shade. Lightweight, pigmented, your skin but better, lasts all day, gives you like that radiant look. A lot of you guys told me how much you love this foundation. It's not new, it's new to me. I had never tried it. It's available at Ulta, so I was like, why not? Or Sephora. I don't know, I'll link it for you. Let me figure that out. Maybe I should have done that before, but it's okay. By the way, I'm in the shade B50. Another goodie one that released this year is Patrick Ta's foundation. Very Patrick Ta. Very your skin but better, very natural. I'm in the shade 15 Golden Neutral. This is actually a really good shade. The name throws it off because it has golden, because typically golden is like a little yellow, a little warm. It's on the warm side, but when you apply it, like I was telling you yesterday, sometimes when you just apply it on your skin type, tone, and undertone, the color kind of changes. So that's why it's important to see these types of videos, because look, see how it goes a little golden? Move it and I warm it up with my finger. It's neutral. This one feels a lot like the Mario foundation. Doesn't really dry down. You'll always have that radiant look. So if that's not your vibe, this is not your vibe. If you have oily skin, you definitely will get more radiant faster. It happened to me when I reviewed it. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing because we know what we're going for. We know that this is that type of foundation. It would be different if it was marketed as a matte or soft matte when it wasn't none of that, you know? Makeup Forever HD Skin. I'm in the shade 2N34. Oh, this one's light. Why is it so light? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it's okay. It'll probably oxidize, I hope. Let's see. But Makeup Forever does great makeup. They're truly artistry brand. So you're always going to get good quality makeup with Makeup Forever. I haven't tried anything that was like a straight up dud. One foundation. It was like called Water something, but it's gone now. So technically anything that's there, I love. It's just such a good quality makeup brand. It oxidized a little bit. This shade's a little too light, but it's okay. Oh, and the difference between this one and the one with the white is this one's more of a soft matte, very soft matte. The other one's hydrating glow. Bobbi Brown released this bad boy out, the Weightless Skin Foundation. I'm in the shade Neutral Honey number 60. This is the perfect, most perfect shade. This foundation's great. I did find that it works best with a more radiant primer, something like the NYX, the Cali Ray. It's very skincare feeling. It's hydrating, it's pigmented. Look, the mancha, be gone. And it's only like a dab on the finger. Good, I really like it. Very pigmented and it's like your skin. I find it to be like a skin tint foundation, but this is what this is because it's pigmented like a foundation. It wears like a foundation, but it feels like a moisturizing skin tint. And may I add, this does dry down. So when it's dry down like now, you can build, and girl, skin. Doing all these swatches tempting me to just wear foundation by itself, and I want to see how that's gonna wear. I've never done that before, but something like this I feel like would wear well. What do you think? Let me know. If you guys vote for that, I'll do like a video and see. That'll be good, huh? Jumping in, I almost forgot. It literally fell out and it was underneath my desk. Huda Beauty released this new foundation, her Easy Blur foundation. I'm in the shade Macchiato 400. It's a little warm, we know. So this texture, it's literally like a serum slash full pigment foundation. It just glides onto the skin so well. This pigment and the blur it does. Let me add it all over, at least like this side. You see just that blur, that evenness, that pigment. It's not heavy. It feels so nice. It glides onto the skin. Oh, love it. This is truly one of my favorite new foundations also. Although the shade's a little warm, as we apply it, it actually kind of neutralizes a little bit. 400 golden, so it's going to have a golden undertone. Wow, I love this stuff. Moving on to the Ulta MAC Studio Fix pan. I love this. I mean, MAC does complexion products well. It's a literal pan. You go like this and then you do this notion. This is NW35. For MAC, I'm in the NW25-30 family. 35 also, depending on the foundation. With this one, it runs a little differently from the other ones. MAC foundations do oxidize, but look, you get that. Look how it's gonna cover that mancha. It's actually a scar, girl. And this is just the thinnest layer imaginable. Doing all these swatches, I'm learning I need to use less foundation. That's what I'm learning here, you know? Because look, you don't need so much. It's pigmented, it's very movable, but it does dry down. So you kind of have to move a little quickly, not too fast, but fast enough. A component like this too, you can just really limit how much you place on your face. So that's always nice. Rebond is a new foundation at Sephora. This brand is not new, not Sephora, Ulta. I purchased mine at Ulta. I'm in the shade 50N. It looks really good. This is a very radiant foundation. It kind of hints to the skin tint feel of things. It does last very well. You do have a radiant look the entire time. The way it lasted, I really liked it. Like a skin tint, your skin but better type of foundation. If this is your type of foundation, Rebond is for you. We just need to let this dry to build because you see how it's very movable. When you keep moving the product, all you're gonna do is move it back and forth. So if you let it dry like 30 seconds or you just start blending, it'll blend well. This now it's dried down a little bit. Now we could add a little more, a little tapping action. I find with tapping always helps just with everything. So this last tray is more of the skin tint, very lightweight foundation. So now that we're in the skin tint arena of things, just finished all of the foundations I have. Let me just double check. Everything from here on out is gonna be BB. Oh, this is like a gel cream. So lightweight thing. I have two Kosas BB Burst 30 and 31. I will have to say it wasn't my favorite like at all. Shade 30 is medium tan. I think I'm gonna go with this one. This is shade 31. Let's do medium tan. Doesn't do anything. It kind of doesn't dry down. It doesn't have pigment. It moves around all over the place. Well, my mind changed right now. No, it's very lightweight. It's one of those things that I'm kind of like, I might as well wear nothing because it's so thin. It feels moisturizing. This is like perfect if you have literally perfect skin and you want something glowy on your skin to dry down a little bit, give you a little color. Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's dry down like a gel. You can't really set it. You just have it sit on your skin like this. Good thing about it is that it is tacky, so it should stick on your skin. Personal preference, I like powders to just set things down. Moving right along, this one right here, Super Goop. I'm in the shade 32 Neutral. Beautiful. Has like this powder dry down. I like those types because it gives me some dry down, but it also makes the skin remain very hydrated. pigmented. Pigment is light. It's not like super pigmented, but most of these skin tints are skin tints because they're a tint. They're not gonna provide the pigment. The pigment is on this side. I loved it. I was so surprised how much I liked it because skin tints are not my favorite, so they have to be done really good for me to be like okay, she's a good one, you know? This skin tint serum from Estee Lauder. I'm in the shade 4N1 Shell Beige. I've seen it where shade names are the same, but they differ depending on the formula. This is truly what it is. It's a skin tint serum. It is pigmented. It works out well. Very lightweight. You see how this is very light? You want to let it dry down and then we'll build, because right now it's not covering much. Okay, dry down. Yeah, can you see how it's covering my little scar right there? This cheek is literally the beat up cheek, so it's perfect for you to see. I have an unnecessary scar. Now I know. I need to just be careful. Rare Beauty skin tint, very lightweight. Why do I have 34W? I don't know. This is definitely not my shade. It's gonna be really warm. This skin tint is great because it is very lightweight. It's your skin but better. Oh my gosh, this really isn't my shade. You know what? Actually, we're gonna use the blue pigment so you can see it in action too. But you see this pigment? Not bad. It's not a good amount. I think I added too much. Oh, neutral. See how neutral that became? This has good texture. Although it's super lightweight, the moment it hits your skin and it dries down a little bit, it's gonna get that adhering and that pigment going. It kind of just, your skin really just warms up this product so well. My little manchita. This is truly like your skin. Not the blue corrector really coming through. A BB cream that I really like that released 2 years ago is this one right here from Dr. Jart. I'm in the shade medium tan. This one reminded me of a foundation because the feel is so nice, spreads so well. There's only about 4 shades. It's because it's like a SPF tint, so it's one of those like no makeup look. This shade may be a little bit too deep, but it's okay. This dries down well. I just love how it adheres to the skin. Now that it's dried down, let's add a little more so we can build her up. And look, my little scar is gone. Gone. Smashbox Halo. I honestly have not tried this. This is brand new. It's not new to the market. It's new to me. This is the shade medium. Looks pretty good. Well, it's a little, it's like warm olive texture. Wow, this texture is good. Oh yeah, it glides well. There's good pigment. A little warm, yeah. Doing these swatches have just made me realize how many foundations really run warm. If I swatch the warm undertone and it's warm, you know, we know I'm not warm, but that's what I have. But like things like this is medium though. We don't know if it's warm, neutral, but pretty warm. Point is, a lot of foundations run warm, which is why I always hear you guys say like I always look orange, oompa loompa, and that's why this is vital for you just to have, just in case. This is like the emergency kit everybody needs in their makeup. Just one item is a whole kit. Summer Fridays. This one also released 2 years ago. What shade am I in here? Tone 5. That's like a olive warm, a little. On camera looks more olive, in person it looks more neutral warm, I would say. Very lightweight. It feels like water on your skin. It is very movable. Let's add a little more and see. Very your skin but better. That is what Summer Fridays is though. You're not gonna get anything super pigmented, full coverage, none of that. This is on brand and I like it. I think it's just very lightweight for my personal preference. Laura Mercier has been known for her tinted moisturizers. Back in the day, this used to be my jam. This is what I used to wear on my skin. This is the shade 4C1 Almond. Ooh, she's thick. No wonder I liked it. I used to wear this stuff all the time. I would keep buying and buying the bottles when I would be done. This was back like 10 years ago. I was a little tinted moisturizer type of gal, you know? How things have changed. Very lightweight. This is when also I didn't have any manchas. I think now I need more coverage, but this would be also great if you mix it in. You guys, I'm down to my last makeup wipe. Oh my, I meant to buy some today and I forgot. We're gonna make it happen. We only have a few left. The It CC Plus Nude Glow. This is the one that was not my favorite, but I can't even tell you why. I can't imagine like me not liking anything It Cosmetics. I love everything It Cosmetics. I think they do makeup so well. Was it just too glowy for me? Probably. Oh, this shade's good. What shade is this? Oh, neutral tan. The medium. Remember I was looking all gray yesterday? Damn, this is nice. I think it's just too glowy. It's thick. It has that, you know how I've been explaining that formula that doesn't completely dry down, you'll have that radiant look. That's this. Reminded me of Mario Foundation, Patrick Ta. This one is just maybe not as pigmented because it's a tint. Moving on, Rose Inc. released this skin enhancer in which CoverGirl has the dupe for it, basically. But let's see it. It has like these little beads that create the pigment. I'm in the shade 70. It's cool. Like this type is really nice. It's nourishing to the skin, adds a little bit of color, teensy bit. But when you warm it up with your fingers, those beads create that nice natural pigment. Very just like lightweight. It did cover the mancha, so this is nice and pigmented. So this is new-ish formula, at least to me, where it's a skin tint, lightweight. It feels very jelly, but it provides, look, decent coverage. Let me add a little more to your skin. And one of the things that I like about this, as thin as it is, it blurs the skin so well. So this is a good one. This is like a no makeup day prize. Shiseido. When this released, I loved it. It's a foundation skin glow, but I kind of categorize it more as a skin tint. I'm in the shade 350 Maple. Shiseido has a foundation that is so good. I don't know what it is. It's like a radiant glow. It was one of the first foundations that I considered my holy grail. This was like 4 years ago. It goes on light, but it does oxidize a good amount. That foundation was my jam. I kept adding it to like favorites after year. Then I got rid of it because I did like a clean out, but I miss it. Oh yeah, you see how so good. Moving along to Nars. This one's an oldie but goodie. Nars, this is the shade medium 1.2 Sydney. She's thick. For a skin tint, she's thick and she's too light. We're gonna disregard like very light. That was the thing when I used this. Honestly, I used this like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. I wasn't sure what my shade was. Now I truly am a shade professional. If you have any questions, let me know. This is what this video is for you, so it can be a guide. Their shades weren't the same or something from what I remember, and I couldn't find it, but I'm sure there's a shade there for me. I just haven't looked. The shade isn't that off. It does oxidize, so that helps, but it is a little too warm for my liking. My cheek is doing better. It's starting to hurt, but I'll only have a few. Tower 28, I love this. Tower 28 is, you know, that brand that does very skin cared infused makeup, very lightweight, very your skin but better. This is the shade 35 Dune Point. This one's a little too warm. I know there's another shade, I believe, there for me. This is also an old one. I purchased this when it came out. I reviewed it and you guys really liked it. This is like a nice, thick, radiant skin tint. If I'm gonna buy a skin tint, this is the type I'm gonna buy because look at this. Ugh, I just love it. It feels so nice. It like feels soothing to my skin that's raw. It like, you know when something just soothes it? This is it. Bobbi Brown. This one released today. I mean, not today, this year, a few months back. I'm afraid to say it's definitely not a favorite. Let's see if my mind changes like it changed with Kosas. First of all, this is medium 1. This is girl. Not my shade. Something about this that I didn't like, it blended out to nothing if I remember correctly. I wanted to do a 2-day review. See, it kind of just goes away. It has a citrusy smell, so that's nice. So let's see how it dries down. Yeah, I don't remember. It's kind of just blending out to nothing. Because the formula thins out so much, it's one of those things that doesn't work well with anything else. Primers, powders, and a lot of times we need one or the other for the makeup to look good and last. And that's when, for me, a product doesn't work out, such as this. But like I talked about, their foundation, chef's kiss. Oh, girl. This one I liked. It's their Strobe Dewy Skin Tint. This is the perfect thing that will go well with their Studio Fix foundation by itself. It gives you a radiant look and feel like the one I swatched. Remember the Tarte Maracuja one? I feel like this one lays on the skin a little bit better because it has less glow. You can see the glow and it has very similar glow to that Tarte one, but I don't know, something about this one, I just liked it a little more, and it wore well with powder, skin warmth. I did a wear test. It worked out very well, but you will get that natural look. It also doesn't accentuate pores and texture. Tula. Tula is a skincare brand. It's always very your skin but better. I love their sunscreen. It works out so well with makeup, under makeup, no peeling. That's telling. Sunscreens are really hard to come by. This is a sunscreen skin tint. It feels like the Tower 28 one, very similar. This one I would say texture is a little thinner. Good pigment for a skin tint. We know the brand focuses on skin more than makeup. It's like a skin infused makeup. Kind of like It Cosmetics at Tower 28. And I'm in the shade here 14. Moving on, Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I'm in the shade 6. Danessa Myricks makeup, I swear my shades are literally all over the place. But I'm starting to think I'm more on the 9. I think I'm number 9. This is 6. It looks light, like really light. Ooh, this is thick and coverage. Yeah, you'll always get coverage. Danessa Myricks makeup, it's very particular in the way it's gonna be full coverage. It's somehow always going to feel like your skin and skin tint. Won't ever feel drying. It won't ever feel heavy. And I think it's really creative and magical how she makes her makeup. Everything I have from her is like that. You never feel cakey and heavy with it at all. And it's oxidizing, so we're good. Too Faced Healthy Glow. I haven't used this in a while. This is the shade Warm Beige. Let's feel her out. I've officially ran out of makeup wipes, so who knows what I'm gonna do. I have 5 left. Okay. Very lightweight, very thin in texture. Oh, it has good coverage. Yeah, this is nice. Okay. For some reason, it didn't stand out to me. Very hydrating. It's really pigmented for a skin tint, a moisturizing skin tint. Estee Lauder's out here trying to just take all our money because they have a full coverage foundation, a serum, a SPF makeup. What else do we have from Estee Lauder? Estee Lauder's that girl though. It's like one of those trusted brands. You know, I'm gonna get it all to show you just because that's how we roll here. And of course, I'm in the shade 4N1 Shell Beige. Let's try her out. This bottle's like halfway full. Shade is perfecto. Yeah, we got pigment here. Oh, but it's thin. Very lightweight. But you see that pigment? Manchas, be gone. Yeah. It's like the lightest weight paint I feel on my skin. And I say that in like the most loving way. It just adheres to your skin immediately, but it's so hydrating and lightweight at the same time. Damn, okay. Bare Minerals. I'm in the shade 10 Amber number 7. This is their Natural Matte Tinted Moisturizer. And it has like these bead thingies. I don't know if you could see it. What activates the shade? Because it looks really light here, but when you kind of do this motion, and it has a moussey feel, it kind of feels like this one. The rose is wet. It's like water. This one is a mousse feeling. I mean, it looks the same. Did I say it looks or feels? It looks the same. You know how rose has the beads? This has beads that have a little more, I feel like, pigment. And when you put it on your skin, it's like pow. It becomes one. It becomes your skin. This, CoverGirl, and the Rose Ink are all in the same family. It's that type of very lightweight, your skin. If you don't like makeup, if you don't like the feeling of makeup, this is gonna be your girl. I really like how it dries down. Feel like water-ish? It dries down, so you won't have glowiness going around and it adheres to your skin. I would say you don't need any setting powder or you just need very little because this kind of stays put. I like how sticky this one is. One in particular from Bare Minerals, look. Ooh, looking at the skin tints right now, just kind of re-swatching them, this is my favorite one. I just love how lightweight it is. It adheres to your skin. Pigment is a little less. Love how it'll just even out your skin in a very light manner. Something that everybody raved about and I did not was this. Hourglass. It didn't work for me and I believe that it didn't set well. It peeled a lot if I remember correctly. I'm in the shade 10. Let's see how we use it again. I didn't like it so much where I almost returned it. And I typically don't return my makeup. The reason I didn't return it because I honestly forgot the return date I had passed when I remembered. But it looks good because it's so movable. It has to dry down. Let's see if we could build. Now let's build and see. It's very hydrating. That's the thing, it's so movable. It doesn't really dry down. I mean, it makes the skin look nice. Okay, maybe Hourglass redeemed itself. Look how even it looks. When it comes to skin tint, I really feel like applying it with your fingers will always be the best way. I kind of feel like that sometimes, but then I forget because my method of applying my foundation is with a brush, and I really like it. I think it works out very well, but with skin tints in particular, doing all of these swatches, I'm like, wait, we need to blend it out with our fingers. Even a sponge won't do it. It's the fingers that is going to get the best result. So, okay, this is better. Let me know what your thoughts of this are. Have you used it? And if so, do you like it? Did you buy it? Let me know. I'm curious about this one in particular because it's also very expensive. Iconic London. I believe it's sold at both Sephora and Ulta? Am I mistaken? Let me know. I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember this one. I'm in the shade Neutral Tan, a little warm. Oh, she's pigmented though, like very. Oh, I do remember it. This was 2 years ago. Very lightweight. Okay, you have to give it some dry down time. But it depends. You don't want to like be waiting around too long and have something that's super wet, you know? It does dry down. I can feel it here. It thickens up too. I've been sleeping on this one for sure. Iconic London. Very skin-like, healthy, radiant. The skin tint, I feel that just kind of wiped it out this year. This one. It's not at Sephora, it's at Ulta, but hopefully they'll be at Sephora one day. I'm in the shade 7. Did I stop showing you the swatches like this? I'm sorry if I did. I've got better swatches on the face. It just wore well. That's what was most impressive about this, is it wore well with powders, with primers. I didn't have any issues considering this is a tinted moisturizer. When I say issues, because I'm a full coverage girl, sometimes I use a little too much powder for a skin tint and it doesn't work. It just happens. With this one, it's a skin tint or tinted moisturizer, but I feel like it acts like a foundation when it's on the skin and warmed up. That's what I could chalk it up to. This is love. You could definitely build her up. You know what, since this is the last one, let's kind of just add it all over, even out the skin a little bit. It had like the perfect olive undertone. Olive undertone can work for me because I'm so neutral, but it also can look a little bit warm on me because my undertone is very neutral, and it could go into the red family. And olive undertone, it works better than a warm. Like an olive undertone could definitely melt into my skin better than a warm, but you'll be able to see the green in the product when it's on my skin tone, which technically it has green, so we get it, but you know. So this is it. This is how this applied, a really rough application. Guys, I cannot believe we finished. Let me count them. I need to count all of this. The way I had to count these 5 times, a total of 80 high-end Sephora foundations, with the exception of like Ulta ones. This is the high-end side. I really hope this was really helpful to you. I hope I was able to explain undertones, tones, textures, everything for you this video. If you made it all the way to the end, you know you are a real one. Thank you so much for your love and support. I truly appreciate you, and most importantly, I really want this video to help you to know how to either apply foundations, any questions about foundations, all the shades of foundations that I personally own. I hope it's helpful for you for the Sephora sale, the holiday season. If you have any questions, please let me know. You know I'm always in the comments chit-chatting it up. I will either have it tagged here on the video, you'll be seeing it throughout the video. It'll be somewhere. Thank you for spending all this time with me. I love you so much. And let me know if you have any questions. Let me know which one was your favorite one. I want to know. I really want to know. And what is your favorite texture? Full or skin tint vibes, you know? Okay, I love you guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, click the button there, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.